Live. Let me know if you can hear me all right. Here with Filmer Mark, and just letting you know it's been a while since we've updated. It is February 20th or 21st. Yeah, February 21st, 2019, and we haven't uploaded a video all winter, and but we're still here. So no, we did not quit YouTube. No, we did not get girlfriends or anything like that. No, we hey Dave, how's it going? No, we did not stop being MGTOW or making MGTOW videos. No, we haven't given up. The, the thing that happened is that our internet got, hey man, hey guys. So our internet got fucking cut off here because they only offer limited internet where we are. So even though we have tons of footage that we've been filming lately, hey man, Shadow J Lord. So yeah, even though we filmed a lot of videos lately, we haven't been able to upload any of them. And yeah, it's a real hassle. Mac changed their OS. I'm filming on my phone right now, so forgive the shakiness. I'm just trying to get a good angle. But yeah, Mac changed their OS. They changed their updates, and I can't sync my shit properly anymore. So even if I film on my phone or I film on my GoPro and I go home, if I try to download it back to my phone again, I can't. Yeah, my hair grew a little bit also. Yeah, no mirror, no haircuts, right? No time for vanity. But yeah, so we're still going, and yeah, we're still here. So yeah, Dave, I hope everything is good too. Like I said, man, our internet just sucks here. We unsubscribed from it because we're not staying forever. So there's no point in renewing a service that's subpar. We're paying almost I don't know, we're paying a lot, fuck, for internet that would get cut off, every 15th of every month instead of the 30 full days. So I haven't had limited internet since like 2003. I didn't even know it was still a thing. But unfortunately, uh, well, a lot of things are limited in this town, not just the internet. But that's a subject for another day. So we came here at the end of the fall, and we set up, and we had a plan, and we had contingencies in place, but it wasn't what we thought it was going to be, and things didn't go according to plan. So we have to rebuild again. Working, and we did a job last week. We did a job the week before that, and they're pretty high paying. It's good. It permits us some time and some breathing room, and only that, it helps us strategize a bit for our next move. But we also built our cabin. I know that I sound like a broken record in the past talking about this for the past year, but we built it, and yeah, it's done. And I wish I could. Well, I'm going to. I'm going to film it for you guys, and I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to make a video about the tour and everything like that. But I wish I could like show it to you sooner, But yeah, it's pretty cool, man. We did it. Mark and I did it. It took around a month and a half. It's got two wood stoves in it. It's got one on the bottom, one on the top. It's got two floors. Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. Pretty fucking cool. And business is good. Well, not really good, but it's winter time, so it's slow season. But we're still putting our ads up, and we're still going to do jobs, whenever they arise. And springtime is right around the corner, even though you wouldn't know, but and that's usually when our season starts. So yeah, a couple of little updates. Like a lot has happened, but I don't want to get into too much today because I'm going to be all over the place. But it's I wanted to touch base again. I miss doing these live streams. Like I said, even though this is just a fucking status update, it's really good to interact with you guys again. I really fucking missed you guys. Yeah, Dave got his job back. It's a high paying gig. I'm glad to hear it, man. I hope you don't have to sacrifice too much for that. Um, oh, cool, man. Yeah, Mike, I've seen you around on his channels. Um, I've known Darren for a while, but we reconnected through MGTOW videos almost 20 years after we've met. But Darren's really hard to get a hold of. And I haven't heard from him in a while. I haven't seen him in a while. I don't know what's going on with his channel right now. But yeah, if you're watching this, what's up, man? And I wanted to work with this guy for a while too. So is Mark. And yeah, so leave a comment, Mike, on one of his videos saying that you want him to do some videos with Bridge Burns or with Greg or whatever. He knows who I am. Another thing, yeah, this is gonna sound cliche probably, no surprise, but I'm in the middle of reading Atlas Shrugged right now, and it's blowing my mind. I know this is what, I guess, from what I've heard anyway, it makes a lot of people go MGTOW, but no, we were already there before it. But yeah, very, very, very interesting book. And I'm sure if you guys are here, if you've read it or if you haven't, I'm sure you've all lived many parts of that book. So it's very interesting. And it's funny because, like, what me and Mark want to do, like, we were fed up of all the rules and regulations, and we were fed up of bearing the brunt of the responsibility and having to carry a full load all the time. You know, just kind of where the strong support the weak, and it's it's fucked up that the productive get punished. And we have a lot more to say about that, you know, especially regarding our surroundings right now. Um, this is a shit town. Yeah, this is a shit town. Fuck, people don't work. People are fucking lazy. People don't do anything. It's going to die. It's going to die. It should die. The government has intervened, and they've raised minimum wage, and they've done all sorts of things to, inflate everybody's salary, and following that, their ego, I guess. And nobody works. We're in the coffee shop now at 10 in the morning, and there's like 70 cars in the parking lot. And it's a tiny place, man. It's a tiny place. No one's at work. Everyone's on welfare. Everyone's on welfare and spending money on entertainment and fast food. It's absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, no, I'm a hypocrite. I'm here too. I'm here too, and so is Mark. But we're here because we have things to take care of on the fucking internet, and my 3G is running out every month. So yeah, I have 8 gigs of data, and usually I can get that to last I don't know, maybe 20 days or so if I'm good. If I don't watch any YouTube videos, or if I don't upload anything, or if I don't share anything, if I just use the internet to gather my information, which I've been doing. But it kind of sucks because for the last 2 months, like, we didn't have it. But anyway, enough about that. I'm not trying to complain. I'm just letting you guys know why I haven't been uploading videos. We have a video of the job we did last week. It's pretty cool. We have another video of the cabin build, putting the roof on it, which is a pretty cool video. I'm gonna try to get that up later today. Um, if I can upload it through my phone from where I am now, that would be really cool. If I can't, just gonna have to wait a little bit, and I'll get that up as soon as I can. But yeah, so there's 5 people here. I'm uploading from my phone, so it's kind of I'm this is kind of new to me. I'm used to having all my windows on my desktop, so I don't want to fuck anything up right now. I've seen all your comments, but yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, okay. Now I can see your comments. Okay, before it was top comments. Hey, weathered man, how's it going, man? Yeah, sorry I didn't answer you. I didn't see your comment. And yeah, same thing. Monk music. He doesn't like where he is either. But yeah, business is okay. Oh man, J Lord, those safety inspectors. They've been calling me up, man. They've been calling me up for the past ever since that video. So for the past like 6 months or so, and they've been checking. They call me from 4 different numbers almost every day. They call me from an unknown number, and then if I answer, it's the guy, but he'll never leave a message. He's trying to catch me answering, and they're going to call me from the first guy's cell, and they call me from another unknown number, and they call me from the other guy's cell, and their agency calls me. And oh man, about 2 weeks ago, they called me, and I thought it was a customer. I thought it was someone else, so I ended up answering the phone. And oh man, did I ever give it to these guys, man? Yeah, I told them never to contact me again. I told them never to show up at my job site. Yeah, Mark's laughing right now because he was there. Oh, he's reading the comments. Yeah, so
Many fatties out there today.
yeah, so yeah, I told them they were rebuffed with extreme prejudice, and the guy said something stupid on the phone, like we're here to help you, and we're here to help you come up to a solution, and we can reach a solution together. And I said, you're not here to help me. I said, I'm doing fine before I even knew you existed. And it seems like you're not here to help me. It seems like you're here to take something that I've produced in order to justify your own impotence because you produce nothing. So I said, let me make this very simple for you. don't ever call me. Don't ever come onto my job site. If you do, it will be at your own risk. And yeah, and the guy says, understood. Yeah, I said, yeah, really understood. Yeah, and I hung up on him. It's fucking amazing. Yeah, oh, I hate these guys. So it's going to be a very interesting summer now because I'm sure they're going to show up sometime. And if they have not already put us on their do not disturb list, yeah, yeah, you stand accused of trying to stand on your own 2 feet. Not good, comrade. No. Yeah, government lackeys, man. Yep, it's true. Atlas Shrugged refers to them as looters. Yeah, it's terrible. Yeah, I don't need you. I don't need you to do anything. You know, you haven't helped me. Not you guys. I like you guys. I'm talking about the government. Like, no, I haven't done anything for me. They impose regulations everywhere. You know, where we are now in this province, they don't salt the roads in the winter. And, like, I don't know if you can tell outside, but, there's crazy snow everywhere. So the roads are not salted, and you're not allowed studded tires. So what are you supposed to do? You're just supposed to suffer like a fucking idiot. And yeah, people say, no, no salt, man. No salt, no nothing. In fact, the plow, okay, the plow plows the snow from the shoulder onto the middle of the street to cover up the ice. I'm not joking. I'm not joking, man. And where we live, the guy, to clear his driveway, he puts snow over the ice. That's how it is. It's literally that's how I think here. So it's made it extremely hard for us to do things. So people say, a common narrative is that I need to buy a bigger truck. I don't know why. I don't know how that's going to help me on the ice. I have 2 trucks already. Like, but the thing is, it's been really hard, especially when we first got here. It's been really hard to go do jobs when the trailer is snowed in with the truck at the bottom of a fucking hill that's full of ice and super long. And the long and short of it is we started shoveling the driveway every time it would snow, but we were paying a lot of money to live in the basement where we live. And if that entailed having to shovel half a kilometer worth of fucking asphalt, then yeah, you better lower the price. So the guy didn't want to lower the price, and so that's it. So now we don't shovel, and he doesn't shovel either. And his girlfriend just backs out to go to work, and sometimes yeah, it's just a bad arrangement. It's just a bad arrangement. So yeah, I could get into it more. It's really frustrating, but anyway, I didn't want to dwell on it. Yeah, weatherman, I'm self-employed too for 20 plus years. I get it. Same with the snow salt thing. We pay more and more taxes, but can't get decent roads to drive on in winter. I know. It's frustrating, and like one of the reasons we came here, well, the only reason we came here was because it was a rural area, and we thought that we would be able. We were told even, of course, common sense stands to reason. You have way more rights in a rural area. You can get away with way more things. You can get away with making, let's say, having a fire pit in the backyard. Little things like that. That's all we wanted. And the things that people get away here, it's fucking crazy, man. Like the hunting. Oh my God, the hunting. They hunt everything. Like in hunt is a loose fucking term. It's not hunting. It's slaughter. Fuck, they dump a fucking pile of poison in the woods, and the coyotes fucking come and they eat it and they die and they fucking haul them away. Like then the deer population explodes. Yeah, yeah, man, I agree. They're trying to make the quote unquote new Canadians feel more at home by creating that third world appeal. I'm gonna use that, man. So it's just annoying. And the system here, no one works in the winter. Everyone goes on welfare, or they go on unemployment insurance, which is still welfare. It's the same shit, man. You're gonna go on that every year for 10 years. Yo, I would never hire someone like that. I would never hire someone that says, "Oh yeah, I'll work, but 4 months out of the year I don't want to work. You're gonna lay me off." Yeah, fuck you, buddy. And that's what they all do here. And I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care, but it's brought up to us so often that that's what we should do, and that we need to go along to get along, and that we don't know how it is where you guys are from, but now that you're here, it's like this and it's like this and it's like this. Well, no, it's not. We build our own rules. We build our own world, I should say. We live by our own rules, and we plan our own future, and no one controls where we go but us. That's it. So nice try. Nice try, small town. But you can't keep us. So back to Atlas Shrugged. It's, I'm sure a lot of you guys have probably already read it, and I'm coming onto it late. But yeah, really, really, really cool book. And there's another one. Look, I don't agree with everything Ayn Rand says. Like, there's a lot of stuff that it's like kind of, anyway, whatever. But she wrote another book called Anthem, and it's really cool. Fuck, it's about a totalitarian state or a totalitarian world, and it's basically been thrust into the Dark Ages. And the main character is tall. He's just taller than the rest. Slightly taller, and none of them have names. His name is like Equality 7 million something something, and they always use the word we. And because he's tall, he has to do more work than everybody else. And he refers to like a retard, and he says, well, Serenity 4476 doesn't have to do it because he drools. So we pretended to be like them, to be incapable of doing work, but it didn't work. We were caught. So this guy in Anthem, Equality 7553 or something, he sneaks away, and he starts keeping a diary. And you're not allowed to keep a diary. You're not allowed to do anything. Everything is preordained. Like they pick two people, they make them have sex, and they separate the kid, and they put the kid into like a forced government learning facility until he's 10. And then when they're 10, they go off into labor camps, or when they're 17 or whatever, and they work at a predetermined job until they're 40. And when they're 40, they die, and they get hauled off with the ancient ones. And if someone lives to be 45, then you're a really ancient one. So this guy in the book, he starts keeping a diary, and it's forbidden to write anything. And all he wants to do is learn. He just wants to know, and he has questions. And they're still using candles in this book. And they talk about how candles are the greatest invention of the past 100 years, and it took 50 years just to get the legislature to put candles into effect. And this is like a post-apocalyptic society where technology has already existed, but they're formed a quote-unquote council of scholars. The bureaucrats that decide everything for everybody, the quote-unquote greater good for the common people and all that. And they decided that man should only see by candlelight, man should only heat by candlelight. So this guy, he he stumbles into a mine shaft, and kind of by accident, kind of in exploring, but anyway, he goes exploring for 3 hours every night, and he finds a bunch of old stuff, from a long time ago, and he finds like wires and springs and all this shit, and he makes something equivalent of a Tesla coil, or a light bulb, I should say. And it's a light bulb, but it's in a square box. And his dream is to become one of the council of scholars because he wants to learn and he wants to know, and he wants to help people, right? And instead of slaving away with candles, like he's basically, according to him, he's harnessed the power of the sky, of the gods, and he wanted to give it to man. So he brings his invention and he walks all through town with his invention, and he goes to show it to the council of scholars, and basically they sentence him to death. And they're freaked out because his new discovery is going to overshadow everything that they've done. And there's a mantra in this book, and it's the mantra of the collective, and it says it goes something like, "What is not agreed upon by all cannot be known." So if you have a dissident opinion, then forget it. To hell with you. You're supposed to be ostracized. So they sentence the guy to death, and he runs away, and he runs away into the woods, and the woods is like uncharted. So if you go into the woods for a day, you're dead the next day, guaranteed, because you don't have the safety of the collective or of the brotherhood or of whatever. So you're a dead man. So he goes to bed expecting to die. Then the next morning he wakes up and he's not dead. And he wakes up in the woods, and it turns out that he's really happy. And he just walks and walks and walks. He just walks away from his old civilization. And he walks and walks and walks, and then he gets hungry. So he throws a rock at a bird, and he cooks a bird, and he exclaims it's the best food he's ever tasted in his life. And he builds a fire at night to sleep, and he just keeps on doing this, and he just keeps going. And eventually, there's a girl that like followed him, who's kind of the same mindset, and they just go off and they find a house that was lived in hundreds of years ago, probably from our society today, and they start reading the books, and they realize that the books are written in the same language as theirs, but there are a lot of words they don't understand. So they say, as of tomorrow, we're going to devote ourselves to learning what these words mean and finding out what's in these books. So, I really like that story. It's called Anthem, and you can even read the graphic novel on YouTube if you want. It's cool, man. It's well done. But it's a lot of shit like that. And that J-Lord said that, oh yeah, man, he said I should read The Decline of the West by Oswald Spengler. I would. There are a few books that I have to read. Also, yeah, multiculturalism has done wonders. There's just so much camaraderie and unity with millions of people of vast different cultures and races. Yeah, it's and races in one space and some open air holding pen. That's exactly what it is. It's exactly what it is. And so I think Mike Atherton, I think it was you that said that you never heard of Atlas Shrugged. Basically, what it's about is that what would happen if the productive people in the world decided to go on strike. So, it's no wonder, a lot of people in the fucking manosphere, they love this book because that's how a lot of them feel. That's how a lot of us feel. And it's like, what would happen? What would happen if we all walked away? So this takes place around 100 years ago, but it takes place in the future, in the near future, and it's the middle of the Industrial Revolution. So coal is big, copper is big, and railways are big. Railways are the main mode of transportation. And, all the main characters in the book, all the protagonists are businessmen. Well, they're not all businessmen, but a lot of them are businessmen. But they're all very good at what they do. And, some of the supporting characters or some of the main people, they're not leaders, but they're extremely loyal. And basically the theme of the book is that capitalism is the only way of freedom, and that you can't recognize someone else, the fact that someone else is good, as a reason for you to suffer. It's not enough. So it really goes against the mantra from each one's ability to each one's needs. And there's a lot of stuff. If you guys watch the video how I got fired from my job last year, there's a video where I complained that I was doing too much work for a company that would pile too much work on me. And when I complained that it wasn't fair, I either wanted to get more money, or I wanted the other people to step up, or I wanted to have to do less. The guy basically told me that in 3 months we all get a raise and we're all equal and all this shit. And anyway, I can't keep you on anyway with a dissident attitude like that. So, this explains a lot. And I know if you guys are here, you've had similar experiences of, either leaving a job or being fired from a job, not because you're shit, but because you're tired of doing everything for everyone. You've left a relationship because you're tired of doing everything in the fucking relationship. It's just a one-way relationship. I made another job. I made another video 2 years ago or 3 years ago, even, called Jobs and Women. And I make similarities between a job that doesn't pay you enough, that demands you break your back, and a woman that doesn't give you enough and demands that, you sacrifice your soul to her. Why would you stay at either one of them? And, other than your own insecurities and inadequacies. And so the book goes, like, one of the main themes of the book is, it's like productivity and hard work versus influence peddling, and playing the game and going along to get along and the greater good. And, it puts a spin on it that I would say most blue people would never even dream of. But as far as we're concerned, like, it's preaching to the choir. So this is what happens when all the productive people decide to go on strike and leave the government looters and the general public just to burn. And it's like a reverse Prometheus theme. If Prometheus stole fire from the gods and gave it to man, well, in this, they see that man doesn't appreciate fire, so they take it back. So this is what happens when all the successful businesses that are essential, essential to basically the running of the country, when they all decide to say fuck it because they're fed up of too many regulations being imposed on them. So, for instance, this guy, Henry Reardon, he makes a new type of metal because there's no ore left over to make steel. So all the companies are defaulting on their steel orders. So this guy Reardon, he's been working on a new formula for metal for the past 10 years, but it's untested, it's unsanctioned, it's not approved by the government agency of Metal Review Board or whatever. And not only that, it's lighter, it's stronger, it's going to last longer, and it's reasonably priced also. And so they put tons of regulations against this guy because his success is going to be unfair to all the lesser men. And, the quality of his product is going to be unfair to all his competitors. So, even though trains made of his metal are going to be able to go 3 times as fast and be able to carry 3 times as many cars, they impose speed restrictions on every railroad. They impose size restrictions and on the number of cars that every train's allowed to carry. Every train for every company has to have the same amount of cars in it, and it's only allowed to go 60 miles an hour, even though these new trains can go 200 miles an hour, because everything has to be equal for everybody. So bit by bit, successful people in this book, they just start to disappear. So one of the coal miners, he's like a coal magnate, should say, has a coal company. He disappears. And then another guy who has an oil field, he disappears and he torches his oil fields. Yeah, so no one can use them again. And then a guy that owns all the copper, which is essential for the production of all these things. He basically sabotages his copper mines, and all that's left is the railroad, and the railroad can't function, without all of these other things. And this is when shit starts to hit the fan. And you see just how much that the government depends on you as a productive person and not vice versa. Now, most of the public is not productive. Most of the public are sheep. And it's, you see the contrast in this novel. And it's really interesting because where the men of the mind are going, eventually, like spoiler alert, lots of spoilers in this video, but where they're going to what's referred to as Atlantis or Galt's Gulch, and it's basically a place in the country where all the productive people have left, and they're just free to live as they please in a voluntary society. And what's really cool, no, it's not a commune, but because everything costs money. And one of the rules of this little voluntary society, this off-grid society, is that everything comes at a price. So that's how they keep things fair. And that's how they ensure that nobody takes advantage of anybody else. So if you need something, if you need someone to help you fix a broken window, you have to offer something in return, whether it's money or a different type of service. You can't just say, "Oh, I'll owe you a favor another day," because the gravity of each favor, it never fucking coincides. And eventually, with the favor system, you're going to get eventually one of the two parties that's very happy to accept work for free, but will not work for free. So, like for example, like where we live now, in this town, in this area, we've done around 4 or 5 jobs, and none of them was willing to pay, or we were about to do them, give or take, and none of them was willing to pay. We found out at the end or at the beginning that they either wanted to let us keep some of the firewood that we cut down for them, or they're going to quote unquote owe us a favor. And you know that's fine, but the favor that I'm going to ask you for is going to be a big favor. If you want $2,000 worth of work done, like I'm going to cash in on $2,000 worth of favors. So it's kind of like the place we are now. Without getting too much into it, we cut down a lot of trees for the guy when we got there, and we didn't make a penny for them, and that's fine. But why should we then pay rent? We did something for you. You're doing something for us. Why is our service worthless? But why does yours have to have value? So no, it's a two-way street. So the rules of Atlantis, everyone pays all the time. So, for example, one guy doesn't have a car and he needs to borrow a guy's car, so he technically rents it off him for like 25 cents a mile or whatever. And I have no problem with this. This is fucking great. And, it's fucked up because we wanted to detach from everything and, just build a cabin and go live there and, work as we pleased, as we needed to, and basically stay as off the grid as possible. And that's just what's happening in this book. And it's like a guide for my life, or even vice versa. And, a lot of arguments that I've had with people are present in this book. And I'm sure, again, if you guys are here, I'm sure it's the same thing for you guys. I'm sure you've had a lot of these discussions. Like if you guys go to the gym, for example, I'm sure you've had this talk too. Time versus reps. Someone tells you they work out or they started running or something, and you ask them how far you run, and they say, "Oh, I have no idea how far it is. I just know I do it for an hour." It's like, no, man, that doesn't count. Like, what are you doing for an hour? You could be counting your nuts for an hour. Or if you ask someone how much, like, how many reps do you do when you lift? And how much do you lift? Oh, I have no idea. I just go hard for half an hour. Like, how can you measure that? And that's like with the seniority aspect. Stupid people think that the only way to move up in a job is seniority instead of doing good work. And they think that they just have to go and show up. That's how you move up at a shit job. That's how you move up at like a government union fucking simp fucking company. Yeah. Monk music, don't engage. Intensity makes the immensity. Yeah, man, I agree. Like Malamim says, be so great that they can't say no. That's how you move up. And if they won't move you up, then to hell with them. Leave them. They're not worthy of you. If you're that good, you'll be good at anything. And this is something I believed also for a really long time that a lot of people have argued with me about. But I believe that if you're able to be good at one thing, then you're able to be good at many things. And yeah, okay. I don't mean naturally with no practice, but the expression "jack of all trades, master of none." I think it's only true in the sense that it's time related. So if you believe that it takes 10,000 hours of experience to become world class at something, which is approximately 2 years' time, give or take, let's say 24 hours a day. Well, it's a little over a year's time, but you have time to be world class at multiple disciplines. But because you're good at something, let's say I don't know, anything. If you're a good painter, you could learn to be good at something else. If you're a good athlete, if you're good at one sport, or if you're good at one exercise in the gym, you can learn other exercises. You can. It's going to be within you. Hell, you could learn if you play video games with the same devotion that you take care of your body. If you treat your body as a shrine, you could become a good gamer. Now, many people argue with me about this. They say no, you can only be good at one thing, and like that's it. And there's skills don't transfer over. But if you believe that it's you, it's your work ethic. It's what's in here, it's what's in here, it's what's here. It's all that. All that counts. All that makes you who you are. I believe it, man. Dave says that's how he got his job back. He eclipsed a lot of them. Yeah, I got to find out all the details about that one day too. We haven't spoken in a while, but yeah, we should, man. We'll set that up later. Send me a private message after, and we'll do a little chat. But people think that the only way to get good or to move up is just by showing up, instead of like by outdoing and outclassing and outperforming and chasing excellence. I think that's the real way. I think that's the real way, and people didn't agree with me that I worked for, so I left and I started my own business. And we started our own business, and there's never been any looking back. I'm never going to work for anyone else as long as I live. I would rather die. I would rather die, and give me freedom. That's it. That's all I want. And I know that I'm not going to speak for you guys, but I think that we would all appreciate our freedom, our complete freedom. And I had hoped to disappear this winter. Well, not disappear. I'd hoped to go off into the woods this winter and keep uploading and keep live streaming and doing all that, and then showing you guys a video of the new world we built, and then asking who's coming with us. And I don't mean just figuratively. Like, who's coming with us? Who wants to come here? Who wants to live with us? Who wants to build a cabin next to ours? Who wants to work with us? Or you know who wants to live on land near our land? I don't want to say who wants to live on our land, but man, you could if you wanted to. We're buying a piece of heaven. We are. We just thought mistakenly that we had already bought it. It turns out this is not our piece of heaven, but we're going to get our piece of heaven. We will. And when we get it, like there's going to be room for more. Because replicatable or replicable, what's the word, Dave? Replicable? I think it's replicable, but there's room for more. There's room for more. We don't want to, Mark and I don't need 40 acres for ourselves, you know, and we want to build a community of like-minded individuals that has been building by itself anyway. And we want to put that community into a tangible place with a tangible business plan and an actual way out, if you want. I got a text. I don't know who sent it. I don't know who sent it, and I'm gonna make a video about it. But I got a text after one of the last live streams, and it was from a guy. Didn't even say his name. It's from the States, and he basically said that he loves my videos and he loves Darren's videos, and he would work with us any day as an apprentice for free. But he can't come to Canada because he's got like possession charges in the States for some bullshit. Dude, man, you would, yeah, replicable. You would never have to work for me for free. Never ever. I would pay you. But this, yeah, of course, man. If you can get here, anytime, anytime. This is the type of man that I'm fucking looking for. Someone that's willing to go all in. And well, and when I read that message, man, if you're listening, like, it almost brought me to tears. And I texted it to Darren. I let him know. I let him know that your channel is really having a fucking impact, man. More than you know. More than you know. Like, you're actually fucking helping people. Like, more than you know. Even though for me that was never the goal of my channel. The goal of my channel was to help myself, and I saw how it grew, and I saw that it. I'm not gonna say help people, but it started impacting people. Even if it just gives people a place to talk, like, that's good for me, and I grow. And if I can grow, then we all can grow. And look, guys, my phone is about to die. I've got 10% battery left, and I have to do a couple of business things here while I'm at this free Wi-Fi internet place. So I'm gonna have to cut the stream off. But it was really good talking to you guys, albeit briefly. I promise you, I'm gonna get my shit together and start streaming more often on a schedule. I know I said this before my internet got cut off, but I'm saying it now, and it's a promise I intend to keep. So thanks for watching, guys. Really, really, really. Thanks for watching. I'm glad you're all doing well. Leave your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe.